Well, welcome. This tutorial is on finding sources for research. So what are sources to use for research? You can use articles, whether they be scholarly, from newspapers, journals, reliable magazine. You can get them from websites .gov and .edu. Tags at the end of URLs are the most trustworthy sources. .com, you will need to be carefully scrutinizing those websites, along with .org. Sometimes there are some biasness in the .org, so scrutinize those as much as you can. Documentaries, the videos, scrutinize those. Who was the creator? Who was the one that wrote the script? You want to make sure that you're looking for a documentary that is not biased and it does give information. Books, whether paper or online, encyclopedias, paper or online, letters and speeches. You can go into the archives in the Library of Congress and get speeches and letters that were written way into the 1800s that are in the archives. So those could also be used for your informative essays and even an argumentative essay. So remember to always use the CRAP test for all of these sources. So the CRAP test is to help you find a reliable source. CRAAP is an acronym. So it spells the word crap. However, I begin with P. What is the purpose of the source that I'm looking at? If the purpose is to inform me, then I'm going to go ahead with the rest of the crap test. If the purpose of that source is to either persuade or entertain me, I'm putting off to the side. There are other sources out there to find that won't have biasness and will be more reliable. So if the source I'm looking at is to inform, then I'm going to look at the currency. When was it made? If I'm looking at a topic that would be in the more recent times, then of course I want to find the more recent sources as possible. If I am trying to do an informative essay or an argumentative essay on something that's connected to the Civil War, then it would be okay to look at sources that are written in the 1800s. Is it relative to your research? If what you found is not related to your research, then that's not going to be a good source for you. Who is the author? Are they an expert in the topic? Are they knowledgeable about the topic? If they're not, then go and find another source that does have that authorship to it. For example, Wikipedia. Wikipedia has good leads. Don't get me wrong, I use Wikipedia to find leads, but I do not use it as a source for my essays because anybody who has an account through Wikipedia can add information to the pages, the wiki pages. It takes up to 48 hours for Wikipedia to find any facts when they do their fact checks. So if you go into Wikipedia and you think you found some information that would be worthy of your essay, it may take up to 48 hours to find out actually what you just read was not true, and unfortunately it was too late and you've already used it into your essay. So just know Wikipedia, it's not all bad, it's just not a source to use for an essay. It's great for leads. How accurate is the source that you found? If there's even one piece of information there that is false, find another source. There are plenty of sources out there that will help you with your essays. So we do have some board policies for the use of information resources. We already have information about artificial intelligence, using that in the classroom and using that for your research. You can click on those links. This presentation will be shared with you, with your teacher, and you can click on those links. Just know that there are consequences for the use of artificial intelligence in anything other than research. So if you're using it to write your essays, I mean, that is a form of plagiarism, and you have to remember, as a student, you have academic integrity. Okay, citing sources. It sounds like many of the teachers in the Charles City departments are having you use Google Docs to cite the sources. So when you're in your Google Doc, you can go up to Tools, and in Tools, you can click on Citations. Once in Citations, off to the right side, you can change if you are using MLA or if you're using APA. And then you can state if you're using a book or if you're using a website. Excuse me, if you're using a website, it will have you paste the URL link into it. So I did a research on football and brain injuries, scholarly articles. That's key. I just don't want to say football and brain injuries. I want to get scholarly articles. I get several different scholarly articles, and the first that come up will be from the National Institute of Health, very reliable source. Of course, it has the tag on the end .gov. And another one coming up is Harvard Medical School, which I would scrutinize just a little bit, but should be a very reliable source. So I went ahead and just selected the very first one, used that URL, and then pasted it into the Google Doc for my works cited. Then when I've finished pasting all of the sources that I've used with my document, then I can go and click on Insert Works Cited, and it will automatically create my works cited page for me. I don't have to do additional typing. Another source that I've used before is Citation Machine. You do have to watch a video every 48 hours for the free version, but it works very similarly to the Google Doc, where I select if I'm using a website or a book. I usually find information from websites. I type in my URL or I paste my URL in. I do a search, and then it will go and find it. And eventually I get to the page where I can select if I want it in MLA or if I want it in APA. And then the three dots off to the right side. If I click on that, I would be able to copy, and then I can paste into the document for my works cited. The search engines, Google, Duck, Yahoo, they are search engines. They search for the information that's out in the cloud. They are not the actual sources that you'll use. So when you're using these search engines, you want to refine your information by putting in your topic and then adding in scholarly article or journal article. You can also even be more specific and say that you want your topic found in a speech, found in a documentary, or found in a historic letter, and then that search engine will go through all of the information that's available in the world to find something that might pertain to your topic. Okay, so for example, I just typed in the battle at Saltville. I just did a search engine, and of course Wikipedia is coming up first. Again, not bad for a lead, but definitely would not use it as a source. I added scholarly article and journal article at the end of the same topic, and I'm coming up with some similar articles, although journal article added an extra one from Springer, and I get two battles and a massacre, so I might get extra information, extra sources from one or the other by adding those tags at the end of my topic. Okay, next we have free resources from our Central Rivers AEA. So we do have this link on our library homepage. I will also share the link with you to get to it. But available to us in high school, we have a digital library, American in History and Video, the Britannicas, which are encyclopedias. We've got core concepts, culturegrams, which is learning about other cultures. We have access to EBSCO, which might get you some magazines or journals. Freedom Flicks is much like TrueFlix, but it goes more into the battles. Gale is a really good source where it will search and find magazines, newspapers, and reference materials. Some of them are PDF and are able to be downloaded right away. Some just give you the information, say, yep, there's an article like this out there, but then you're going to have to do the extra step and try to find it somewhere either on the internet or contact like the public library to have them retrieve it for you, and if they make a copy, it does cost extra. Learn 360 are videos and documentaries. Mac and VIA might have ebooks on there, but Mac and VIA is more for like free choice reading. In your topic that you're researching now, you might go into ProQuest. It's actually ProCon on topics, but it might give you some leads and ideas. It's like, oh, I never thought about that aspect to include into my paper, and it would be a lead for you, and then you can go and research in another area for that information. In Gale, they have now segregated out different types of Gale topics. The overall general ones are Gale 1 file, and the Gale Academic One file. So in general, if you want to just research it that way, you can, but they do have it segregated out in a variety of content areas. So it might be a lot faster if you're looking at, let's say, health and medicine, if you're looking at the brain trauma in sports. I would probably go into health and medicine, and then it solely searches only in the areas that connect to health and medicine for journal articles and magazines, instead of the wealth of information that's out there connected to Gale. Again, there are more with Gale. It all depends on what your topic is. You might want to just narrow it down into these areas when you're searching on Gale. Okay, also available through the AEA is Sounds Abound. So if you're creating a presentation, you can take your essays, argumentative or informative, turned into a presentation, a slideshow. You can add sound to it. Well, if you use more than 30 seconds of a piece of music, actually is a form of copyright infringement. So Sounds Abound has many choices available for a background sound or short little sounds, and it's free to you that you can download and add to your presentation. Another area, if you were doing that brain trauma in sports, teen health and wellness might be another resource through AEA to use. For the majority of the links with the digital resources, the username is 1116 for our school number, and then CC for Charles City, HS for high school, and the password will be CRAEA, standing for Central Rivers AEA. Okay, in our library, if you go to the Charles City Schools homepage, if you go to departments, you'll have a drop down, and in the drop down you can go to library. When you go to library, you'll come to this page where it'll ask you to select your school. You want to select high school, and on the home page, this is where you're going to see that we have the link to the AEA digital resources. You can click there, but again, I will share that link in the presentation with you. You can go to catalog next to search what we have for books in the library, and then this page will take you to where you can find. You type in your topic, you click search, and it will list out the different books. Another way that you could do it, all depends, it's a visual thing. You can select Destiny Discover, and it's the same process. It'll take you to another page, and then you put in your topic and search, and then it'll show you the visual cover books available in our library. Okay, additional resources to check out. Library of Congress would be a recommendation of mine. Check that out. This is where we have Archive of National Documents. Smithsonian Open Access Media, that's with the Smithsonian Museum, and they have photographs, and they have paintings, they have everything that's open access, meaning that you can use it for free. You might find some information on News for Kids. You might find information with Common Lit, but teacher might have to create an account in order for you to access the information. And of course, the Charles City Public Library, they can interlibrary loan books for you that might be in other cities. They can get them to you for free if you find the title that you want. If you find a journal article and you request it, they might be able to find it for you in print. And again, that printing will cost, it's like between 10 to 20 cents a page. So Charles City Public Library is a good resource as well. Here are some of the rules with a copyright infringement. Basically, if you're going to use a video, you can copy up to 10%, no more than 3 minutes, whichever is less. Music, again, 10%. Text, up to 10% or 1,000 words. Music, lyrics, it goes into how much, no more than 30 seconds. Illustrations, books and periodicals. That gives you an overview so you avoid that copyright infringement. And then I included my works cited page so you can just see what it looks like even in a presentation. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to contact me, I'm in the middle school or the high school library from 7:30 to 9:20. You can also email me, and I'm pretty good about getting back. Unless I'm teaching at Washington and Lincoln, I'm pretty good about emailing back not too long after you've emailed. So again, feel free to contact me or visit me in the library. I'm more than welcome to help you out.